What's up everybody, it's Rishi from Prillo, and in this video I'm going to be doing a mock roleplay for Principles of Hospitality and Tourism with the instructional area of communications. And as always, this is just to help you guys get better at your state's roleplays and hopefully make it to ICDC. The image over here is the scenario that I'm using for this Principles of Hospitality and Tourism roleplay, and this contains a scenario. And then over here, we can see the notes that I used to actually prepare for this role play and conduct the presentation. Now I'm going to get to the role play. Let's roll the clip. Good afternoon, John. Thank you so much for meeting with me today to discuss the enforcement of the new dining policy that we have on board our cruise ship. While enforcing this strategy, we also want to make sure that all of our customers feel understood, heard, and also informed. And we must be able to do this while upholding the reputation of our 4-star restaurant and making sure that the families that do have children also have exceptional alternatives. Now, the first thing that I want to do is ensure that there's clear verbal communication that's going between us and the clients. And so effective communication always comes from 3 different things, which are clarity, being professional, and also being extremely warm with your customer. And this is all aspects of hospitality. Our team members really have to articulate these policies in a method that makes everyone feel respected around them. And instead of just blatantly stating that no children under 13 are allowed in this restaurant, we can do this in a more customer-friendly method. And so we can create a statement that says something like, "Good evening and welcome to our restaurant." To maintain the refined atmosphere that we really value, we only are accommodating guests that are above the age of 13. And on top of that, families that do have children are going to be able to experience a variety of other fantastic alternatives, such as the kids club that we have on board our cruise ship. And by giving a statement such as this, we're able to keep the conversation more positive, and informative, while preventing any frustration that we can potentially cause between the team and the customers. Now, another thing that we also have to make sure that we're doing is giving legitimate responses to the inquiries that are given to our team, right? So we always want to address any questions with respect, empathy, and also, clear solutions. And so if the passengers ever have, received any notifications about this policy to actually change, they still might be surprised and if they haven't seen it, right? So instead of simply just reiterating the new policy that we have over and over again, we have to show understanding and also provide the alternatives that we do offer on board our ship. So if a guest just comes up and asks, "Why can't my child dine here? He's an awesome child and he'll stay quiet." That's a little unfair. And so we have to say something like, "Our goal is to create a formal environment for all of our guests that are attending this 4-star restaurant," right? And we have a lot of really great guest feedback and we'd really like to uphold this reputation. However, we also have designed a really nice kids club on the same floor of our cruise, with really engaging activities that helps the kids be able to express their energy that they typically do inside our 4-star restaurant. So then families can also have a really wonderful evening while keeping their children occupied without disturbing our customers in our 4-star restaurant. And if a guest continues to insist that they were unaware of this policy change prior, we should still keep that solution-driven mindset to make sure that all of our customers feel happy by the end of the day. Because remember, we have to solidify the idea that customers are everything and they create our reputation, right? So, we should maybe even add written messages, which is the next thing that I want to talk about. Written communication is super important to supplement our verbal communication. And one example I have today is this little sign that we can keep outside of the restaurant, right? So we try to use positive verbiage, such as like, to the friends of Breeze Cruise. Um, we also do serve alternative dining options for families with little ones under 13. So, we also have that QR code here, which makes it very simple for the customer to be able to explore these alternatives, right? So, all written communication, as shown in this diagram, must be clear. It must be extremely concise so then the point can get across quickly. And it has to be engaging and simple, right? So it should be really easy to read and also reinforce the key points that are involved with the policy that we are trying to enforce. Now, to also, again, continuously ensure that all of the guests are aware of the policy change, we can propose these following reminders so that they can make sure that they're informed. And for example, at the beginning of the day, or maybe even towards dinner time, we can have a daily cruise announcement. And I can give you a simple example. So we can say something along the lines of, to truly provide, our elegant dining experience, our 4-star restaurant is welcoming guests that are aged 13 and older, and families with young children are encouraged to enjoy our supervised kids club meal and experience towards the later hours of the day when the 4-star restaurant does open. Now, we can also keep notification cards in each of the guest rooms that we can slip in before the guest arrives into their hotel room and checks in. So this just ensures that when they do start looking around for the options that are here aboard the cruise ship, they'll know from the very start that the restaurant, the 4-star restaurant that we have is off limits if you have family members that are under the age of 13. And so, along with the written informational messages that we really want to provide, I think it's extremely important that they're direct, they're extremely positive, and they're visually appealing. So another example of a written message that we can keep outside of a restaurant is this little graphic, right? So here, this really helps to show our customers that are a little confused with this change, why we made the change into only allowing people over the age of 13 to dine at a restaurant. And so here I added a decibels count and for with the children and without the children, and you can see that the sound is significantly less when there aren't children present. And we can also see the Google reviews for the restaurant significantly increasing once we did once we did start enforcing this new policy. And also the ratings down here show, it's too noisy. You couldn't focus and enjoy while you were eating when there were children. So a diagram like this, if diagram like this being presented to the customer would help them understand why this policy is being made. And now, I also want to address other questions. So, like, let's say the passengers arrive to expecting to dine with their family. Our solution is to handle the situation with extreme professionalism and hospitality and make sure that they feel welcome by offering this personal assistance that I have been talking about throughout this meeting. Then from a business perspective, this policy change actually enhances Breeze Cruise Line's luxury brand that we market in many of our channels. And many high-end travelers that are traveling with us seek really refined and peaceful dining that they were marketed to when they first made the decision to purchase tickets for our cruise. And we want to uphold that reputation that we already have. So by enforcing this policy, this is actually very good for our business. And we can also attract a more diverse range of passengers, including those who are looking for those like family friendly and sophisticated options by including something like a kid zone separate from the 4-star dining facility. So by incorporating like a combination of like clear verbal messaging and also written messaging, we're able to ensure that our customers are able to understand this new policy change that is occurring without any conflict. Thank you so much, and I'd be really happy to explain this more in detail if you have any questions further down the line. Thank you. So we made some pretty awesome changes to the UI on our website, and so I just wanted to show this to you guys while I score the role play. Now, all I have to do is click on the Google Drive link and copy and paste it right here for us to score. And so I can score it directly here and just wait 30 seconds for the score to come through. So fast forward to the score. Here we can see that I got a 96 on the role play. We can see that I got 100 on all the 21st century skills. And then for the performance indicators, I only lost 1 or 2 points on some of the indicators. But overall, the system thinks that I did an extremely well job, even acknowledging that I made signs, those notification cards, the written messages, and all of those aspects. Now, I just want to talk about what I think I did really well in the role play and some of the things that I also struggled with. So in terms of what I think I did well, I think the best part about my role play was that it was extremely flowing and the performance indicators were, again, very specifically defined, and I gave really good visuals to support them, even though that the performance indicators were extremely vague. So I think like especially this visual, just like I had that infographic last time, I think that this before and after sheet was extremely well, and I kind of thought of that on the spot when I was in my prep time. But you know, this is something that would be really, really useful, especially in a principals role play where it's very saturated with a bunch of people who are going to be thinking of the same ideas. So a unique visual like that definitely helps. In terms of what I struggled with on this role play, I would say that one big issue that I create for myself is that I don't seem confident sometimes because I'm looking either at my prep sheet to think of ideas or even looking upwards, because that's just kind of how I idea generate, and it's hard for me to do that when I'm looking into the judge's eye, and it creates some nervousness. So that's just something I think I have to eliminate as I go down the line. But I think apart from that, I may have been a little bit repetitive, but when it's paired with the visuals, it's not that big of an issue. So I think that overall, this role play was actually pretty unique given the circumstances of vague performance indicators, but I made the most of it, and I think that's what matters the most. Thank you so much for watching this mock Principles of Hospitality and Tourism roleplay, and we hope to see you in the next ones to come.